Hello Steelers, and welcome to this game of O Group, another game of O Group. This is the German attack on Voin in October of 1941. This is actually in the Lardy special 2021. It's written by Dave Brown himself, and it's the one that features in the Two Fat Lardies Lard TV introduction to O Group. This is our version of it. So as you can see here, I'm looking here from the German attack lines. That's my I'm attacking as the Germans, but I'm not entirely sure which side Dean
weren't sure which side to go for this week. Weren't sure, but I think I might opt for the Soviets. See how that goes.
So yeah, Dean is taking the defending Soviets. We've already done the deployment. So Dean, you want to walk us through what you've done and where your army is starting and what you've got at this point?
So combat patrols.
Let's just say, so first of all, that is Voin itself. So we've got to I've got to capture both of those built-up areas to win.
Obviously, as a defending player, it's better just to stick men in there and hold it out.
It is.
Come and dig us out. It's always nice to have something on your right flank. So that's command and combat patrol.
They're over there, are they?
Following on from last game, lessons learnt. A nice ambush kind of patrol, not really ambush, but a kind of patrol just laying down fire in the woods seemed to last pretty well. Similar across this side, and forward observer.
He's up on the high ground, isn't he? So he can see quite far. So that's pretty good. That's a good position for him.
Yeah.
And also, what else do you have?
Do you mean
ambush? Don't show me where the ambush points are.
I'm not sure where the ambushes are, but yeah, all the ambush points are marked.
They're on his map. Don't show us the
my
map.
Copy of the map.
I don't want to see it, just in case. So obviously somewhere scattered across here. How many ambush points did you have?
5.
5 of them. So scattered across here are Soviets that I have yet to see. On my side, my deployment starts over here on the right flank with my forward observation officer. Unfortunately, because it's early in the war, 41, the Germans and the Russians don't get to use their company commanders as spotters, so I've got to rely on my foo as Dean, but I'm a little bit more hemmed in over here.
Yeah,
so
you've got a narrower field, haven't you?
Yeah, I've tried to put him so at least I can see Voin itself. Over here we've got the ravine. This provides cover if you're in it, and you get a -1 to be shot. But I've got a couple of combat patrols pushing their way up that ravine, and I'll probably be jumping out from that point there forward. I've got some recce as well, so I've got the 8 rads, but these are obviously a little bit early for 1941. But I don't have any 6 rads, so sue me. And then over here, I managed to put on 5 combat patrols in total, so I've got 2 on the right flank and then 3 on this left flank to push up into this area here. I've also got a couple of consolidation points, 1 for each company, which Dean doesn't know where they are, but they will be, I've marked them on my map as well, and they'll become apparent as the game goes on.
Looks like it's going to be a hard defence here.
It is.
It's going to be hard going.
It's going to be, I think, yeah, it's going to be hard for me as well to push forward, because there's quite a lot of open ground to cover. And well, we'll just see. You've got a lot of armour, but I've got a lot of armour as well. So
should we put the camera on me? This is my initial prediction. When one chink goes in my defence, he'll sweep through. See how we go.
We'll hold you to that. Okay, so we just finished turn 1. We just finished our regroup phase. So far, all I've done is really I've pushed forward with a couple of combat patrols here and deployed. I'm trying to get as far forward as possible over on this left flank, as you can see with the Company 1. I managed to get these moved forward in the regroup phase, which was nice. I've also moved forward the recce as well over here. So the 6 rads, they moved forward. They tried to spot for any ambush units in that field. There were none. So that was I know that field is clear of ambush units. However, what happened here, Dean?
Well, I've put my defence out in strength, all out in the open, hoping, well, we're just going to have to blunt the tide. We're just going to have to see what comes forward. And then took a nice lucky shot, which damaged one of the recon.
It did, didn't it? Meanwhile, I'm pushing up the ravine here, and I'm also trying to push forward as well on the right-hand flank, just with some combat patrols, to try and get in on that flank as well and to try to attack Voin from that point of view. That's all that's happened at this point. I've got a damaged recce unit, but nothing else has happened, has it? Nothing else we've not been able to fire at each other because we're just out of range at this point. So anything else to add on that, Dean? Or?
No, nothing to write on that. It's the early salvos, isn't it?
It is. Right, so we just finished turn 2. We're just about to come into turn 3 at this point. That one felt a little bit like a busted flush, didn't it, Dean? Simply because both of us got a hesitant company. Mine was this one over here, so none of these moved forward, which is what I was trying to do. And yours was the same one, actually, wasn't it? Your left flank.
Yes.
So over here, so they got stuck, basically. So all I could do in my turn, I won the initiative, was to push forward these 2 platoons. Well, 3 platoons actually. I pushed forward a combat patrol and deployed, and then I also got into that building over there as well. I can't remember, did they fire at yours? I think they did, didn't they? But nothing.
Largely ineffective.
Yeah, it was largely ineffective. You returned fire, and that was ineffective as well.
Yeah.
However, in the centre over here, I was able to bring fire down on your platoon here.
Yes.
And badly damage them and suppress them. Indeed. As well. So you had to rally those in your turn.
Things did not go well for the Soviets still.
It didn't, did it? And then I also dropped some artillery on Voin itself.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good, pretty cracking from my point of view. It caused...
We got a hesitant commander here.
Yep.
Before the barrage started, and then he got suppressed and killed.
He did.
It was a good job that he got killed, because he'd been off to Gulag otherwise.
Yeah. And you also got I think you took 1 damage on the one shock on the
2 shock on there. 2 shock.
Yeah, the first shock was from the artillery. The second shock was for them staying in position, wasn't it? Because they're in the beaten zone. And then you released your
reserves.
Your reserves, didn't you? So
throwing everything but the kitchen sink on here. We're trying to get into some defence in depth.
Yeah,
hopefully.
So we got an ambush unit, didn't we, over here of the T-34s. They tried to fire at my troops in the built-up area, but
no, it's for next turn.
Did you? You didn't have enough firepower for them. But over here, you brought in 2 new platoons, didn't you, in the centre there, running down that road, and these guys managed to get all the way 18 inches from the edge of the table, so they're literally charging into death at this point. So that's kind of where we're at this point. Yeah, anything else you want to say, Dean?
No, I thought it was going to be a tough fight. I think you massaging my ego a bit, saying it looked like it was going to be a tough fight last time, and you come back. It's not looking great.
Yes, I don't know.
The tide could change.
Yeah, the tide could definitely change. I mean, I've not really pushed forward any further on the right flank more than I wanted to, and because of that hesitancy, so that's kind of bogged me down a little bit. But yeah, you're a little bit on the back foot with that dead commander. Yeah. Because that means you've got to use up an order.
An extra order.
But we'll see what our next turn brings. Yep. And see where we're at with that. Okay, so here we are at the end of turn 3 now. Things are really heating up, aren't they, at this point? Yep. This is a game of fortune, really.
Yeah, I've rolled so many ones.
And I don't know whose fortune it's in favour of. Right, so as you can see in this centre section, we've got a lot of shock on these Soviets pushing through the cornfields, and the reason for this is because there was a lot of gunfire exchange between the two. But before this happened, I did a close assault with this platoon over here into the woods, and they managed to push this platoon out and suppress them. But then you've just rallied them, haven't you, in the regroup phase? Yeah. However, in the centre here, there was a lot of firing between the units that you can see, and you took a lot more hits than I did. Absolutely. But there's still shock everywhere. Over here, this was my big failing. Yeah. This platoon here, these Soviets on the edge of the woods, were suppressed, and they were literally ripe for a close assault. So I sent these guys in. They got halfway across the road when a couple of dirty T-34s opened up and basically suppressed me and stopped me
I'm glad I put them on. I did say I had to do
Yeah.
something out of desperation.
That was it.
The desperate act worked out.
It did. It was a perfect reaction shot that against those in the right, because you needed to roll to see if you could react against them, and you did. Otherwise, I would have been out of line of sight. Then over here, I've been pushing forward again with my combat patrols. It's been all very quiet over here until Dean's one of your your ambush groups turned up here, didn't it? It's just it's a platoon with an AT rifle. But I also got caught by your artillery.
Yeah, not as effective as it could have been, but
It stopped me.
Yeah,
It stopped me because it suppressed that platoon, but it's also done some damage to that platoon as well for shock. So it's kind of made me think about it. And we realised as well, we played it a bit wrong. My foo shouldn't have been able to spot his the first attack over my first artillery attack, so I'm moving these forward at the moment to try to get close.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie, isn't it? Yes, you know, we reckon it's a point on a map, so it's quite obvious. It's a built-up area, so we're hand waving it away with that.
We're happy with that. But much like the fact that I forgot to put my white commander back on when I was supposed to do one.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Use one of your HQ orders. Take your HQ order down and we'll put
enough.
him on. I think that's only fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, we forgot about the
Still early days.
Yes.
Still learning again.
Right, so that's where we're at the end of turn 3. We shall get on to turn 4, see where we're at with that. I think it could go any way, to be honest. Dean seems a bit downhearted, don't you, Dean?
Yeah.
I am.
Well, considering
I'm middling.
Considering the only thing I've got left is poor T26s, it's not. It's not well. I mean, your armour hasn't even appeared yet.
Well, that's true.
I'm throwing everything but the kitchen sink.
That is true. But I'm also, unbeknownst to Dean, I'm trying to fight my way towards my consolidation point so I can actually produce my tanks. It's not going to happen at this point, I don't think. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, moving on to the next turn, I think.
Yes.
And we'll see where we are when we come back.
No football thus far, which is surprising.
Yeah, it could have been, couldn't it? If they'd have
gone.
If they'd have gone, that would have been Dean's first foobar. But as it is, no foobars just yet. Right, so we have just ended turn 3 and on to turn 4 now. Things again have really heated up because my attack has actually stalled. You got a hesitant unit, didn't you?
Yes.
Dean, straight away.
The blue ones. We took the figure off now, but basically this section couldn't do anything.
Your centre basically stopped. But also my centre did, because I tried to attack with this platoon here against the Iron Men, these swines, and I just cannot shift them. I went in and I got beaten.
Yep.
I had a full platoon against one section and they stood and they fought. Heroes of the Soviet Union, aren't they, them? Yeah. So they are basically, I can't clear that wood out at this point. There's been an exchange of fire over here in the centre.
Yeah, starting to waver on that this middle section.
It is a little bit. Over here on the right, you spanked me with artillery, didn't you?
But it did. Yeah, I did a divisional artillery.
You
did? Divisional artillery. No damage.
Yes, no damage. But you did force these to run away, though.
Yeah.
So they ran off. But I hit you back with some more artillery over there. But
medium barrage. Got them suppressed.
Yeah, he did. You've brought on your T-34s, your second section of platoon of T-34s.
The last act of a desperate man.
Yeah. Well, why is the same? Because I've consolidated with some Panzer IIIs over here behind this wood. I've also brought on Panzer IVs to face off against T-34s. One's automatically been damaged by your T-34 fire. And I've also brought on the other Panzer IIIs as well over here. So I've got those on at the moment because I can feel like... It feels a little bit like to me that my attack is now grinding down.
Yes.
I've still got a full company to bring on and a little bit of support.
Well, I've got the glorious T-26 light tanks.
You have.
And an anti-tank gun.
An anti-tank gun. So I've got more in troops.
20 turns to do it in.
20 turns to do it in. So it might be a bit of a grinder, this one, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, it doesn't feel like much has happened, but a lot has happened as well in the same way, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think, Dean? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I'm not going to blame the dice, but I did get off to a very, very sketchy start.
You did.
And
you rolled 5 ones, didn't you, in the last one?
3 sets of all ones
Yeah.
in the last couple of turns. Each one's came up. Every killed in action has become a killed in action thus far.
Yeah.
So it's not gone brilliantly, but amazingly, I'm still on the cusp of no foobar's.
I was going to say, I've still not pushed you over onto that 4th kill yet, have I?
Yeah, once again, I'm going to stick with my prediction that one swift kick will bring down the entire edifice.
I think at this point, because everybody's holding some kind of shock, this might be a bit of a turning point.
Yeah.
I think this turn.
Things are gonna get nasty on this.
Yeah,
turn.
I think so. It depends who gets the initiative and who can just push it. And I've been getting the initiative quite a lot, haven't I?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll sign off there and come back in at the end of turn 4. Right, here we are at the end of turn 4, turn 5 now. That was a very quick turn, simply because you got the initiative, didn't you, Dean? But both of us spent most of our time actually rallying. I got a hesitant unit over here, which I'll just take off, remind me. So I couldn't move anything on this side of the board anyway, or do anything with them. There was an exchange of fire between the T-34s and the Panzer IVs.
Yep.
Which was resulted in damage for you, nothing for me. Would you like to talk about these fellas?
Well, once again, we drove off people at the edge of a bayonet. They're holding their position well.
Yep, I went in with another attack over here. These went in. They caused 1 damage. They caused 1 damage. So these, I lost that because it was a draw. So they got pushed by 13 inch. I then sent in my 2 Panzer IIIs, and even then, they still would not shift, would they? They are literally Iron Men at this point. Over here, it's been relatively desultory, hasn't it? There's been a bit of firing between your T-34s and...
Seems to have quietened down a little bit.
Yeah, just because we're running out of orders. However, right at the very end of the turn, I deployed this company commander and 2 combat patrols, because I'm hoping, and what I've done is I've consolidated on this terrain feature. I'm hoping to get the initiative so I can flip those into units that will hopefully put pressure on that centre. How about you, Dean? What are you thinking at this point?
Well, I'm more confident that I'm going to get the initiative this time. I think
I've had to use up a lot of HQ orders.
I think I'm still going to have to rally to try and blunt that wave that's coming at me.
Yeah,
they are holding but I think it's just a matter of I'll stick with my prediction that when one goes, they'll all go. So yeah. I think rallying's probably my best defence at the moment. Looking at it,
most units seem to have got some kind of shock on them, especially in the front line. So that's difficult. Like I say, I'm trying to get a fresh company up so I can start applying pressure where it's needed. But let's see what happens in the next turn, and we'll come back and let you know what has happened. So, how are we feeling, Dean?
Not too bad actually, surprisingly well. I have pulled back.
Turn 6, isn't it? Yeah, we're just about to start turn 6. Yes, I think you have. You may notice very little has actually moved in this turn, because both of us, I think, spent a lot of our time reducing shock and moving troops about. So, do you want to tell us what you've done with yours?
Did have an interesting mortar attack here, which slowed the tanks down a little bit.
Yeah, it basically shocked everybody, including my wrecker, which is great.
Wiped off a platoon here, patrol,
combat patrol, wasn't it?
Came back, so he's still pushing that central line, that central V. I do have a lot of stuff around here falling back. Oh, and the Iron Brigade, I finally relieved them. Yeah, they've decided to.
Valour is the better part of honour, or whichever way it is.
Discretion.
Discretion, that's it.
And the long range
tank duel
carries on.
It does, yeah. It could go either way at this point, couldn't it? Both of those. I was hoping to get the initiative over here so I could deploy my combat patrols, but you actually got the initiative, didn't you?
Yeah, shot one off.
And was destroyed one. I also got a hesitant company over here as well, so I've still not been able to push forward on the right. So again, we're kind of stuck. It's a little bit bogged at this point.
Yeah.
But this, I thought this turn might be the one that,
like any kind of bogging though, it's going to tip one way or the other. We're either going to all be all right after this. That's what we're hoping for the rally, which hasn't happened, or we're all going to be teetering on the edge, and I think we're all teetering on the edge.
A little bit, yeah. This is the attritional grind that we need. One of us is going to break at some point.
Yeah, there is going to be a breaking. point any moment now, I would imagine.
I would think so.
imagine this turn would be it.
Yeah. Well, I thought that in the last one, but we'll see what it is in this one. It's turn 6. All right. So we'll check back in at the end of this turn and see where we're at. Right. We are moving into turn 7 of 24 potentially. I don't think we're going to get this game finished, or at least go all the way through to 24. Just take your order there, Dean. This one has been a bit of a... my line hasn't moved forward.
No.
But I've managed to get on that platoon that I was trying to get on before, so they're on at least. I got hit by your
mortar.
Your mortar. I got very poor rolls for my orders, didn't I?
Yeah, it's just staggering them now. That they've left them. All the mortars doing there is you're rallying. I'm repinning them.
Yeah,
that's all we're doing.
This is a problem, and now I got caught up as well with another unit as well in the woods. So I bottlenecked there, and you're just hitting it, as you'd expect. Unfortunately for me as well, I've lost a Panzer III over here.
Yep.
I've also lost a Panzer IV over here. You still haven't lost a single tank, have you?
No.
This caused me to go over my foobarrs.
Yes.
First foobar. So I've got one. However, in the centre of it all, there was a lot of rallying, wasn't there, from your point?
Awful lot. They brought on the T-26s.
Yeah, they've come on, haven't they?
Brought on the anti-tank guns.
Yeah.
But then Doom Patrol, who has been the bane of my life, I decided to rally them because I thought, you know what, I've not done anything for a while, and they decided to run off.
They've scarpered. So that brought you to your second foobar.
I should have just left well alone.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I feel, I keep saying it, I know we said, oh, this might be the turn that tips it. I think now I've lost 2 tanks. I think Dean he's got me on the back foot at this point. My attack has completely bogged down in this centre. I just can't shift forward.
Your infantry's been your saving grace, though.
Mm.
It's been backwards and forwards, but it's held on. Mine, as you can tell, with a few exceptions, are fallen back.
Well, that is true. Yeah, I'm pushing you back slowly, but I keep getting knocked back. But at least I'm coming forward, aren't I? Yeah. Whereas you're falling back. So it's still all to play for at this point, and I don't know. We'll see what the next turn brings. And again, we'll catch you up there and see where we're at, and we'll go from there. Right. Okay, we just hit turn 9, or about to hit turn 9, and if the phrase "it's all going to rat shit" meant anything, then it means it now. If you could possibly see, from my point of view here, that there are 5 plumes of smoke coming up from 5 tanks. So basically, literally, Dean just mashed up my tank attack completely. It was these ones you took out, didn't it? First of all,
yeah, it was going to eventually. It was gonna happen.
It was in the centre. Another mortar bombardment took out 1 tank, damaged the other one, and also shocked it, suppressed it.
Yep.
I tried to rally it, just tried to rally it at the end, and it failed, so it ran away. 2 other Panzer IVs were taken out by your T-34s, weren't they? So they are burning. So I've now been pushed over onto 2 foobars. Yep. You took a second foobar.
Don't enter an arse-kicking competition with Porcupine.
It's true. At this point, what have you got? You've got 1 damaged T-34.
Yep. 1.
It's got shock on it.
My anti-tank guns did nothing.
Yeah, you brought them on.
Surprisingly, the T-26s did okay.
Yeah, they've been firing the infantry, haven't they?
All's quiet on here. They've not moved for because it's a desperate. It's the all the birds.
Speaking of which, I've forgotten about those platoons.
All the birds are in the air now, aren't they?
They are. So yeah, I've brought on my last reserves, which is me 88mm and me 50mm gun.
Yeah.
They're not going to do much. I think this game is. I don't think I can win.
Yeah.
At this point.
We're both on 2 foobars and we've both got trouble. So I think it's going to be whoever. I need to take out 1 more unit of yours. Or is it?
I think let's see. I've got three infantry off and 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 foobars. So you're going to need. No, you need to take out 4 more of mine. 4 more of my sections.
3.
What are you on?
1, 2, and whatever's on table.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to have a clean sweep, but there is a lot of wounded out there and small units.
Oh, do you mean to bring on? Because I've only got one.
No, I mean what's left for Fubar. You've got to start from scratch, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I've got to kill how many?
Another 4 to give me another Fubar. I think it's doable. It depends on if you get the initiative or not. You've still got a lot of infantry in that section, in that centre, and I just don't feel like I can push through them at all. Especially with no armour.
Yeah.
I've got 1 armour that is damaged, and I've got the Recce. They're just going to go, I think, this turn. So we'll see who gets the initiative next this turn, and we'll see how badly I do in the next turn. All right, turn 9 is over. And things on my side at least aren't much better. I managed to rally a few people, really couldn't get forward with anybody. I tried to push the 2 IT guns forward and they just
crawled.
Pretty much crawled, and they been a bit of exchange of fire from the infantry here, and you just been trying to break me, haven't you?
Yeah.
Firepower and everything into... Nothing
amazingly exciting, must be said.
You wiped out that platoon there, finally, in the woods.
You finally failed the KIA action.
After 1,000 KIA rolls. So yeah, we're kind of still at the same place as we were before, as we was going to turn 10, and I really can't see me winning this. I think we said we'll play till the next Fubar.
Yeah.
I think, and then we'll reassess then.
But this demonstrates how effective the infantry are in our group, because they've just held on.
Yeah,
so no matter how much firepower I've put on them, they're still there, still in it.
You're not shifting them at all, are you?
No.
I keep bringing them back. So, yeah, infantry are the key here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I keep forgetting about my artillery. I've still got 2 artillery missions, and I should be smashing the hell out of his infantry at this point. But we're where we are, not where we want to be. So we'll play on the next turn, and we'll see where we are, and we'll come back with another update. And it only seems like 2 seconds ago
it was
that we started turn 10. So now we're on to turn 11, coming up to. This one again has been relatively desultory. I managed to get the 50mm gun into the field. Annoyingly, my 88 is still lagging behind. That may help at some point, but apart from that, it's pretty much just been infantry fire, hasn't it?
Yeah, infantry fire and me moving up reserves.
So we're both still on 2 Fubars. We both really haven't shifted any further forward. It is looking more and more unlikely that I'm going to win this. But we said we'd fight till the next Fubar.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one of us is closest to it at this point actually, because I don't think we really lost much last turn, did we?
No.
So yeah, I've got 4 off the table, and I've got 5 kills on table, so I'm on 9.
I've got of sections. I've got 7. So I need to take another 2 off, aren't you?
Another one off. So what? You're on 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so you shouldn't have had that as a second Fubar, should you?
What it was per 3.
No, it's per 4.
Yeah, well.
So you should only be on 1 Fubar at this point then. So yeah, that's even worse for me then. Yeah, it's for every 4 that you take it off.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was 3 for some reason.
Oh no! Oh god, that puts me even further behind then. See, there you go. It's getting late.
Shall we? Well, it's 25 past 5. Shall we call the next turn?
Yeah, I think we'll see what happens in the next turn, and then we'll call it that.
Because we might actually finish this game, but it would probably take another hour and a half, just from the way the lines are at the moment.
Yeah. I think definitely now that we know that you've taken less Fubars than you should have done, I think I've got no chance here. But we'll see on the next turn.
See on the next turn. It could all change.
Yeah, it could all change. I doubt it will, but let's see anyway. All right, that was a grind. Right, we're halfway through turn 11, and Dean has just won the game. Do you want to tell us how?
By throwing everything at it.
Literally.
It was mortar, machine guns and platoon, T-34, T-26, artillery, and this everything.
Another platoon there as well.
Platoon shooting at. Just to make, when we achieved the Fubar, just to see my last I was going to use my action dice as well, but we did the last order, and that would have taken it out as well.
Yeah,
that would have crossed the line as well.
It would have. So basically, I lost 2 sections out of this platoon here. We should have done a platoon roll there to see if they ran away or not, if they routed. But I lost the MMG and the one of the platoons, so that just pushed me over the foo bar. We said we were going to play to 3 foo bars. That has pushed me over. I don't think I could have won it there anyway.
I think if you'd have gone to 24 turns, the tanks would have taken out the guns, and that's game over for your anti-tank into.
The only thing I could have done is probably get the 88 up into position, but because he's a heavy gun, it can move and deploy, but it can't fire. So it would have been at least 2 turns.
It couldn't move.
Yeah, and it was also getting stuck as well every time. So yeah, what would I have done differently is the question, I guess, here.
I concentrate your armour in a punch. It's because they're all piecemeal, weren't they?
That was the problem.
You can see where they got to.
Yeah.
They didn't even cross the attacking line.
No, they didn't.
Defence line, sorry.
So yes, but the thing is, when I was thinking about where to put them on, you already had your T-34s on here, on this side. So I thought, well, if I put on a couple of Panzer IVs to deal with them, and then I've got the others over here. But yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have split them up. I should have just.
You could have probably punched through them.
Yeah.
You might have took some damage anyway, but it would have worn down. You might have actually just done an old-fashioned cavalry charge and you could have
piled into there.
Yeah.
But that was an absolute grind of a game, wasn't it? But such a good one as well, though.
Yeah.
I think even more, a couple more turns, I would have lost enough for 4 foo bars. Yeah. So we're gonna quit it at that. And any more to add on that, Dean?
Yeah, your infantry's great. Apart from this particular white zone,
the ones that ran away. Yeah. But yes, it's bogged down because of the infantry. I think
it does.
You plug that gap.
You do get a sense of offence then defence, and then defence. Which because I had 2 lines running at one point, and they stalled and then come back and then they came back again. We forgot about them.
Yes, there was not much happening over there, was there, for a while, because we still got intact platoons kind of looking at each other at this point. It just went a bit quiet.
Live and let live.
But then that seems to be what happens in our group. The action is cinematic in that it really telescopes into one place, microscopes in, should I say, into one place, because that's where you're spending your orders. And also, one of the things is as well, once you start taking shock and suppression, you're spending a lot of orders just to deal with that.
Yeah,
and not actually doing anything.
An old-fashioned cavalry charge.
Yeah, coming around this side, this flank.
Might have made a world of difference.
I'm probably still working out my tank tactics with our group at this point. But yeah, great game. Absolutely loved it. If you enjoyed it, do subscribe. Drop me a comment down below, as ever. Say if you've enjoyed this. We'll probably do more of these at some point, won't we, Dean?
Undoubtedly.
Enjoyed filming it, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and check out my Patreon and all the other bits and pieces over at Storm of Steel, and we'll see you in the next video.